independent rear suspension and sleek European styling, this Mustang is surely very, very different than previous generations. But that is a good thing because this is brilliant. Honestly, the Mustang we're testing today is spec'd exactly how I would spec it. It is a performance package with a manual. Performance pack, you can only get it with a manual, and it's got Recaro seats.
It's not the way I'd spec it.
No, what would you do?
I'd add 350 to the end of it, so GT 350. That's how I'd spec it.
All right, well, yes, a GT 350 would be better. But this is also, as priced, $42,000, so you're getting a hell of a car for the money.
So this is the S550 generation of the Mustang. Still 5-liter V8, top of the line Mustang GT. Now it's upgraded to make 435 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 happens in about 4.5 seconds, a quarter and high 12s at 110-ish. It's actually not as fast as the previous generation Mustang in some tests because it's 200 pounds heavier. So it got independent rear suspension, but they tried to make it more refined, and the interior is way better. So it actually did get a little bit heavier, which from a pure performance perspective definitely is a downgrade, but it definitely boosted it up in some other factors.
Yeah, this car's got a lot more going for it than just straight line speed. Yeah. With the performance package comes 6-piston Brembo brakes up front. You've got a stiffened rear sway bar in the back, tightened front springs. You've got, the torsion differential, 3.73 final drive ratio.
Different tires, wheels, yep.
The 19-inch wheels on this look awesome. I think it's the best wheel option. And a spoiler delete.
I don't know if I like the spoiler delete. I kind of like it down there.
All right, fair enough. You've also got a retuned suspension and retuned traction control to give it more of a sporty feel to it. Speaking of which, one of my favorite parts is these toggle switches down here, which kind of look like they're out of a GTR, but regardless of what they look like, you can change the steering feel. So I prefer sport mode. You've got normal, sport, and comfort. And then you've also got different driving modes. You've got Sport Plus, track, snow/wet, and normal. So we'll put it in Sport Plus right now, allow you to have a little bit more fun. Of course, there's a traction control button. Funny part is the traction control button is right next to the hazards button, so for if and when something were to happen.
If and when you're leaving a car meet.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the hazards right away.
This generation of Mustang brought a lot of controversy because, first of all, the styling, they went away from that retro look, and a lot of people accused it of being too European, looked too much like a Fusion coupe, stuff like that. It has grown on me. I definitely like the way they look a lot more than the previous generation ones.
Definitely.
Except for my Leona Seca, obviously. But independent rear suspension, that is the big part. Previously, Mustangs was solid rear axle, great for drag racing, not good for taking corners or going over anything that isn't perfectly smooth because one wheel getting upset is just going to send, it's just horrible. This is a lot better, but I still feel like it has too much body roll, and it does feel like it weighs a little bit more.
I think that part of that is comparing it to the Boss 302. Comparing this to a non-performance pack new gen Mustang GT, this is so much better. I think they've done a great job with the new Mustang in terms of making it more than just your
big engine in a crappy car.
Your budget-friendly performance car. It's more than that. It's luxurious inside. We've got the premium package. We've got Sync 3, a nice digital display. It's actually pretty easy to use.
Way better.
The car feels easy to drive on a daily basis. It's fun around town, and you can actually handle really well.
Yeah, it's definitely a great all-around car that still has a ton of performance.
I'm impressed with how fast this car really is. I mean, the performance numbers, the horsepower numbers are getting so huge nowadays. That 435, you're like, that's lame. It's nowhere near the Shelbys or whatever the new GT500 produces. But it is, if you downshift and punch it in second gear,
it's definitely
fast.
We just live in a weird messed up world where 400 horsepower is just okay.
Now, in the interior, this car actually sounds really good.
Yes.
You've got lovely induction noise. Is it artificial at all?
They cheat. There is a sound pipe. That happened on the previous generation. There's a sound pipe that goes from the intake right there, just pumped straight through the
But it's real sound, right?
It is real sound. It's not speaker augmented.
Gotcha.
So it's that type of, some people will take them off. It sounds good from the inside, it's
too quiet on the outside for sure.
Just, when they first came out, 5.0s are going by, I'm just like, what?
You want to hear that V8 rumble, and you don't hear it at all.
I knew if I were to get a regular 5.0, my immediate first mod would have been axle back muffler, something change, something exhaust change. Yeah. One of my favorite features of this car are the seats. I mean, these Recaro bucket seats are great. As soon as I got in, immediately I'm like, whoa, these are really comfortable. They hug you nice. They keep you right in place. They're nice and leather covered. I think that was a upgrade cost, but
Well, the interesting thing is with the premium package, normally comes 6-way adjustable electronically controlled seats.
Oh, okay,
and then you put in the Recaros, and then they're fully manual again. They are pretty expensive though, $1,500. 1,600. Considering for double that, not even double that, how much you get on the performance package.
Correct.
So if you're going to do one versus the other, definitely do performance pack instead of a Recaro.
I don't know. These seats are,
but they are pretty nice. I think I'd get them.
I feel like you kind of have to bundle them in, because if you get the performance pack, that means you're probably going to be driving it enthusiastically. You might take it to track days, and then if you're just sort of sliding around all over the car, that's like kind of it's a good thing to have both of them.
So we tested a Mustang GT S550 with an automatic, and the automatic was okay. We talked about how we'd rather have a manual. Now the manual is the better option, but they do need to get their stuff together and ditch this MT82 transmission.
It sucks. It just sucks.
The linkage is not great.
You can't shift quickly.
You can't. It's
downshifts are all right.
It's harder to get into gear. It's jerkier than a lot of transmissions. There is so much better stuff out there. Space in the rear, obviously there's not very much. It's basically used to drop your insurance rate, and
why
you can put some
seatbelts
groceries. Because when the car was delivered from Ford, they buckled the seatbelts for us. It was very nice. It even came with water bottles. I don't know if that happens when you buy a Ford, but
water bottles and mints. They give us a little pack of Altoids. Yeah, that's good. It rides really well.
It does. It's isolated from the road.
Isolated. Not a lot of wind noise. Not a lot of road noise. And it does ride really well. I mean, this road isn't horrible, but when I was driving on the way here, it rode great. Like, this would be a very comfortable car to drive.
I think you could daily drive this car.
100%.
You get some all-season tires, even though it's rear-wheel drive, even though it has a decent amount of horsepower. You could drive this year-round. It's the most comfortable, most refined Mustang ever made.
Yes, and most refined is 100% true. I think that's the biggest difference, and why the thing I like the most about it. It just feels better built.
It feels like a really good quality car, not something where you realize its utmost goal is performance at an affordable price. This is performance and luxury and practicality.
It's all around just good.
Yeah.
It's not the fastest for this price range. You can get faster cars.
Yeah, the Camaro is much faster.
Yeah, but all around, I think, from the appearance standpoint, everything, and also Ford is currently killing it in the sales in terms of Mustang versus Camaro.
Really?
It is a domination right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, Mustangs are selling.
Because the Camaro came out with some very stellar reviews from auto journalists.
They're all both great cars, but Mustang is doing very well right now.
Overall, I'm a huge fan of the interior. There are some gripes that we do have. You don't like that the air conditioning vents are circular, and then the ones on the side are horizontally oriented. Also, the fact that it says ground speed on the speedometer, I didn't know that it was for the ground. So the problem is, if you go airborne, you have no idea how fast you're going.
I don't know. Innovation, flying.
I really enjoy this car. It's really fun to drive. It's a very refined Mustang.
Yes.
I think it's the best one ever made in the modern generation from a pure driver's perspective. What do you like about it?
My two favorite parts are going to be the interior and also the way it looks. I think from a design perspective, it definitely looks awesome. When I first came out, again, I wasn't in love with it, but it's grown on me, and I think it looks really, really cool. Also, the interior is just beautiful. I mean, the material choices are great. It feels like a much more premium vehicle as opposed to before. You paid a lot for just performance, and you had to compromise with hard plastics and mediocre cloth seats and stuff like that. But I mean, this is leather. Everything is built nicely. These machined aluminum switches are excellent. Got all the latest tech features.
Yeah, I mean, American sports car companies are going away from all they do is go fast in a straight line. They can't turn, and they've got plasticky interiors. None of that.
It's all around great vehicle.
All around great car.
Great.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. Look forward to seeing you next video.